This might be the most important offseason decision the Dallas Cowboys have made in a decade, and I need you to hear me out on this one because what is happening right now could completely reshape this franchise. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because here at Blue and Silver Nation, we are on top of every single Cowboys move the moment it happens. And trust me, you do not want to miss what is coming next. All right, let us get into it, because the Cowboys are facing a decision that could define the next 5 years of this team. And honestly, it is about time. Look, I am not going to sit here and pretend last season was anything other than what it was. 7 wins, 9 losses, no playoffs, and a defense that was absolutely embarrassing to watch. Ranked dead last in points allowed, and nearly last in total yards given up. That is not a slump, that is a full-blown crisis. And the crazy part is, the offense was actually putting up points. This team could score with anybody in the league, but every single week we watch the defense just hand games away. So now Dallas is sitting there with the 12th overall pick and a choice to make. Do they play it safe, or do they finally swing for the fences and show the entire NFL that this franchise is serious about winning again? Here is what nobody is talking about right now. There are reports circulating that the Cowboys are exploring a potential trade up in the 2026 draft. Not just moving up a few spots, but potentially jumping all the way into the top 6. One recent report from a league analyst suggested Dallas could be in discussions with Cleveland about swapping picks, and the package being floated around would send the 12th pick plus multiple future second-rounders to the Browns in exchange for the 6th overall selection and some late-round compensation coming back. That is a massive swing. That is not the kind of move you make unless you have a specific player in mind, and all signs point to one name. There is a safety out of Ohio State who is being called one of the most complete defensive prospects evaluators have seen in years. We are talking about a 2-time All-American, a Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and the anchor of a national championship-winning defense. This is not some projection based on potential. This is a player who has already dominated at the highest level of college football. One prominent draft evaluator literally described him as a human missile and said he sees the field like a chessboard. That is the kind of instinct you cannot teach. That is the kind of player who changes an entire defensive unit the moment he steps on the field. And think about what Dallas desperately needs right now. They need someone who can eliminate explosive plays, because last year the Cowboys were getting torched over the top constantly. They need a leader in the secondary, someone who can communicate coverages and make sure everyone is in the right position. They need a player who brings championship DNA into that locker room, because let us be honest, this roster has talent, but it has been missing that edge, that killer mentality for a while now. But here is where it gets complicated, Cowboys Nation. Trading up costs real assets. Those second-round picks could be used to address other holes on this roster, and there are plenty of them. The depth at certain positions is concerning. The pass rush took a massive hit after the Micah Parsons trade, and suddenly a team that was getting after the quarterback consistently dropped from 52 sacks to just 35. That is a cliff. That is not a slight decline that is falling off a mountain. So the question becomes, is it worth sacrificing future draft capital to secure one elite player, or should Dallas spread those resources around and try to fix multiple problems at once? And that brings me to the second path the Cowboys could take, because while everyone is focused on the draft, there is a proven NFL pass rusher who just became available, and this move might actually make more sense than people realize. A former Pro Bowl edge defender was recently released by his team due to salary cap reasons. He is still under 30 years old, has multiple double-digit sack seasons on his resume, and when healthy has been one of the more disruptive pass rushers in the league over the past several years. His rookie season he came out and immediately posted 12 sacks. He had another season where he put up 11 sacks with 6 forced fumbles and over 20 quarterback hits. That is game-wrecking production. Now, I am going to be completely real with you because that is what we do here. There are legitimate injury concerns. This player has dealt with significant knee injuries at different points in his career and has missed extended time in multiple seasons. That is a risk you have to acknowledge. But here is the thing. If the Cowboys can structure a deal that protects them financially with incentives and playing time thresholds, this could be an absolute steal. You are getting a veteran who knows how to win, who has produced at the highest level, and who can immediately step in and provide something this defense desperately lacks. Right now, Dallas has exactly 2 edge rushers under contract for next season. 2. That is it. And one of them is still developing after being drafted in the 2nd round last year. He showed flashes but only recorded 2 sacks. He is not ready to be the guy yet. He needs a veteran presence next to him, someone who can take the pressure off and show him how to close out plays at the NFL level. And that is exactly what this free agent would provide. But here is what I keep coming back to. Why does it have to be one or the other? The Cowboys are in a unique position right now. They have extra draft capital from the Parsons trade. They have cap flexibility if they structure contracts correctly. They have a franchise quarterback who is about to turn 33 and whose window for winning a championship is not infinite. This is not a rebuilding team. This is a team that should be pushing all the chips to the center of the table right now. Imagine what this defense could look like if Dallas makes both moves. You have the interior completely transformed with the recent trade acquisition and another veteran presence up front. You add a proven pass rusher on the edge working alongside a developing young player who can learn from him every single day. And then you have an elite safety roaming the back end, cleaning up mistakes and taking away the deep shots that killed this team last year. That is not a bottom 5 defense anymore. That is a unit that can actually win games. That is a defense that gives your offense a chance to close out tight games instead of always playing from behind. And with the coaching changes Dallas made this offseason, there is finally someone calling plays who is not afraid to be aggressive. Think about what that means when you combine scheme aggression with actual talent. The Cowboys have not had that combination in years. Look, I know some of you are thinking this sounds too good to be true. You have been burned before. We all have. We have watched this franchise make puzzling decisions and play it safe when they should have been bold. We have seen them let players walk when they should have paid them and overpay players who did not deserve it. But this offseason feels different. The entire vibe coming out of that building feels different. When you trade away your best defensive player and completely overhaul your coaching staff, you are sending a message. That message is, we know something has to change, and we are willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. Now the question is, whether ownership follows through on that message with actual moves. The pieces are available. The cap space can be created. The draft capital exists. All the ingredients are there for the most aggressive offseason this franchise has had in maybe a decade. And after watching the Super Bowl where defense completely dominated and controlled the game, it should be crystal clear to everyone that you cannot win championships without being able to stop people. The Cowboys learned that lesson the hard way last year. Every single week we watched games slip away in the 4th quarter because the defense could not make a stop. Every single week we watched the offense put up enough points to win only for the other side of the ball to collapse. That cannot happen again. And if Jerry Jones is serious about competing for a championship while Dak Prescott is still in his prime, then this is the offseason to prove it. No more half measures. No more waiting for players to develop. No more hoping things magically get better. You go out and you get the players you need to win right now. Is it risky? Absolutely. Trading up costs future assets. Signing a veteran with injury history could backfire. But you know what is also risky? Doing nothing and watching another season slip away while your quarterback gets older and your window gets smaller. Sometimes you have to take the swing. Sometimes you have to trust that the talent you are acquiring is worth the price you are paying. And when I look at the players Dallas is being linked to right now, I see guys who can genuinely transform this roster. I see a potential franchise cornerstone in the secondary and a proven pass rusher who can immediately upgrade the edge. Put those two pieces together with the talent already on this roster, and suddenly the Cowboys look like a team that can compete with anybody in the NFC. Is it a guarantee? Of course not. Nothing in the NFL is guaranteed, but it gives you a chance. A real chance. And that is all you can ask for. So let me ask you, Cowboys Nation, what do you want to see happen? Would you make the trade to move up and grab that elite safety prospect? Would you sign the veteran pass rusher and immediately upgrade the edge? Would you do both and go completely all in on this window? Or do you have a different plan entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I genuinely want to know where you stand on this. We are a community here, and your voice matters. And if you made it this far in the video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. We are building something special at Blue and Silver Nation, and every single subscriber helps us keep bringing you the best Cowboys coverage out there. This is the offseason that could change everything. The moves are there to be made. The players are available. The only question is whether Dallas has the courage to actually pull the trigger. I believe this team can get back to the Super Bowl. I believe the pieces are falling into place, and I believe the next few weeks are going to tell us exactly how serious this franchise is about winning. America's team is not done, not by a long shot. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.